So I think that everyone has consumed the content for this week. So I'm just going to give me a minute. I'm trying to open up the slide. I'm going to just go ahead and then just I'm just going to have a walkthrough. Uh, Here's the slide. Um, Lesson two. Okay, so in lesson two, basically what the lesson two contain. Let me share my entire screen. Basically, what lesson two contains is sorry. So basically, what lesson two contains is the introduction to HTML. What exactly is HTML? How does it work? And then we took, well, I mean, in the video we had talked about the HTML boilerplate, the basic tags, heading tag, the paragraph tag, the link tag, the image tag, the list tag, and then attributes, and then nesting of elements, and self-closing tag, and non-self-closing tag. Okay, so we are not supposed to be doing a lot of talk in this meeting. So that will bring me to doing this. Okay. Give me a minute. Let me just open up. Okay, let's just open up okay. Why are you not going to okay, let's open this. Okay, okay. So I'm going to be running I'm going to be running this with live server. So just give it a minute because I just started the old workspace. So the extensions are actually just coming in place. So it will actually take a while. Maybe just some minutes actually. So so this is go live. I can click on go live and it automatically starts the server on port 5500 for me. Sorry. So it automatically starts the server on port 5500 for me. You can see the port here. Okay, if you look up here, you see the port. We have 127.0.0.1. Can anyone tell me what 127.0.0.1 means? Anyone? Guys, are we here?
Localhost.
Huh?
Localhost.
Also, so that basically means localhost. It basically means localhost, basically means home. Okay, and then this is the port that it has been served on, that we are serving on 5500. So that's why we can actually see the content. Sorry, sorry, just give me a minute. Let me even close this thing. This is not supposed to be out there. But yeah, so yeah. So that's why basically we're actually seeing all of the HTML content. So this is the HTML that is actually serving. Okay, this is the HTML that it is serving. If I let's just by let's change this to syndex. So it's not going to see exactly. So it's not seeing the index.html file. So in the LMS video, I did mention that when you run something on live, when you run HTML on live server, what it's going to serve for you first, what it's going to serve for you first is the index.html file. Okay, so if it doesn't see the index.html file, then you just list out everything like this for you. Okay, everything in the root folder, it lists them out. Then you can now click on which do you want to go to. But then if you have your index.html file, so let's just rename this back. Yeah. So if you rename this back to index.html, then it serves that index.html for you. Okay, it serves that index to HTML for you. So in the course of this class, we talk about, well, okay, in the LMS video, we have been introduced to HTML. HTML means hypertext markup language. It is the language of the web. Okay, it is the language of the web. We have some other types of markup language. You have XML and some other versions of markup languages. Okay. I think when we talk about README also, README can also, you can actually use markup language to write README also. So HTML means hypertext markup language. It is the standard language for web, the standard markup language for creating web pages. Okay, it describes the structure of the web page. The browser is going to read your HTML file and then understands what to actually display for you. Okay, your browsers are going to be reading the HTML file. So if you know, regardless of what framework you are writing, if you are writing Angular, you are writing Vue, you are writing React, you are writing Next, they all still transcribe down back to what? To HTML file. Okay, they all still transcribe down to HTML file. That's why when you right click, go to inspect, you are going to be seeing HTML tags and attributes in the inspect. Okay, in the element, you're going to be seeing HTML tags and attributes there. Okay, because all frameworks still needs to what? Compile down back to what? HTML, because HTML is the web language. That is what the browser understands. Okay, HTML tells the browser how to display the content. HTML label pieces of information. So you can use paragraph to label the particular content. You can use heading to label a particular content and so on and so forth. HTML works with what? CSS for styling, and then JavaScript to add interactivity to your HTML. Am I still audible? Are we still together?
Yes,
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, so basically this is the HTML boilerplate. Okay, so HTML boilerplate contains is like the skeletal, it's like the basic HTML file content where you now go ahead to now start adding every other content that you need. So let's just say what are the key parts that we have here? We have the first line here, which is the exclamation mark doc type HTML. That basically defines that it's basically telling the browser that okay, so this is HTML5. Okay, it's basically going to tell the browser that the file that you're about to start reading is an HTML file, is an HTML5 file. Okay, now the first line HTML, and then the next line rather HTML is what tells is the root element for the entire HTML, the root element. Then we have two of its children, the heading and then the body. So the body contains everything that you want to show in the website, everything that you want to show inside of your browser. That's what goes into the body. But the headings contain some special tags, some meta tags also. So for example, now look at this title. The title is what shows in your browsers, something like this. You can see what I have here, my first web page. So that is the title that you put in your head. Okay, your chat set is used for what? There are some other meta tags too that are very very important. So we're going to be getting to that in future classes also. So yeah, hands on. Now, basic tags. So what are the basic tags of headings and paragraphs? So the basic tag when we talk about typography in HTML is the H1 to H6, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and then the paragraph. Okay, the H1 is the largest. So let me just go back to my VS Code. So the H1 is the largest. We have this H1 here saying main title, and then we have the H2, the H3, H4, H5, and H6. And if you view them in the browser, how do they look? So this is the H1, the biggest, followed by what? The H2, followed by what? H3, followed by what? H4, H5, H6. H6 is the smallest and is smaller than the paragraph tag. This is a paragraph. So it's smaller than the paragraph, but it's if you look at it, it's kind of let me just zoom in so that we can see this. So if you look at this, it's kind of bold in it has like a little bit of bold effect on it compared to what this looks like. Do we agree to that? Guys, are we together?
Yes, yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. So F6 does have like a little bit of bold effect on it, but it is actually smaller than this paragraph. So let's see the actual size. Okay, so if I use this, click on this, what is this? The size of this is what? 16 pixel. And if I click on this, the size of this is what? 10.72 pixel. But then if you look at the font weight of this H6 is what? 700. Now look at the font weight of this one is 400. So the H6 does have a little bit of bold effect on it, but it is smaller than the H1. So the heading tags ranges from H1 to H6. H1 being the biggest, H6 being the smallest, and then we have the paragraph tag, which is just a paragraph tag to display a paragraph text. Okay, cool. So the paragraph defines a block of text and automatically adds spacing before and after it. So if you are expecting that I'm adding a paragraph and I'm still expecting it to fall on the same line as the text before it, or the text after it, no. So when you're using a paragraph automatically breaks into a new line. Okay, it automatically breaks into a new line. It doesn't stay on the same line with the um incoming with the afterwards element, or the elements that comes before it. Okay, same thing goes for the heading tags also. The heading tags always, I mean, all of the heading tags breaks into a new line. They always start on a new line, and they don't allow any other element to come after them until we get to some part of how you can actually maneuver them to actually just come on the same line with every other element coming after or before them. But then we're going to get to that in future classes. But let it be known that H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and paragraph text always create space before and after them. Okay? Cool. Cool. Awesome. Moving on. Moving on. Yeah. So we'll talk about so now let's talk about link. So links. So if you want to add links in your document, in your website, you can either add links within your website. Okay, so each of your web, so let me just show you. Let me just go to my VS Code. So each of these files are web pages. Okay, each of these files are web pages. Now having them all come together is a website. So I can have this web page, link to this web page, link to this web page, or link to this web page. It is still in the same website. Or I can have my website linked to an external website, linked to another website entirely, a website that I don't even know, or a website that I don't own, rather. Okay, so we can either have links within a particular website or link from our website to another website. So if we look at what we have here, okay, we have a link here that goes to a second page. Okay, so I have a second.html. Oh, let me just zoom in on this also. So I have a second.html here. Okay, I have a second.html here, which basically contains just a link to go back to the word, to the index file. So to link your web pages together, we're going to be using anchor tag. Okay, the anchor tag, I'm not supposed to be doing this. The anchor tag, it takes in what has an href attribute which holds the address. Okay, the address is like a destination that you're trying to go. Okay, if you are going within your own website, you can just do what I did here. So I'm going from where I am. This is where my HTML is. Okay, this is where my HTML is. So if I'm going from here to any of this file, I just need to do a slash. Okay, so if I have like a folder somewhere that I want to go into, what I do slash, I can go into it and then pick any files that I want to pick out, but then I'm not going to this one, so I'm just going to remove it. So I'm going to another web page in my website. I do slash and pick the web page that I want to navigate to with this link. Let's just do second page, for example, and then I put a content that I want to be here. Say click here. And then when I check my website, it's going to be here. Look at it, click here. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to what? It's going to take me to what? The second.html. Now, in the second.html, I have another link that is going to take me back to the what? To the index.html. So basically, that's how linking within a particular website works. Okay? That's how linking within a particular website works. Now I have a link here that is going out of my website to google.com. Now I'm going to do this and I'm going to ask a question. Now, when I clicked on this link, guys, I'm going to ask a question at this point. I need someone to answer. So when I click on this link, it takes me to second page, and I'm still in the same browser window. I click on it, it takes me back to my index of HTML, and I'm still in the same browser window. But when I click on this google.com, it takes me to Google, but it opens up in another browser window. I need someone to tell me why is this so? Guys, can we hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I need someone to give me the answer. Why is this so?
Google is unique.
Google is
Let me see,
unique.
sir.
Hmm. Okay. My website too can be unique actually. So um
Let me
sorry, let
try.
me go to the comment section. I think someone dropped a message. You use underscore targets. It's actually not underscore target. So this is it, yeah. I can actually make my website also like open another web page in my website, open in another browser window. So what if you look at this? What is the difference between this line and this line? It is this word target attribute. Okay, it is this word target attribute. So this target attribute tells the browser where and how to open this particular link. Okay, we can actually have this. So these are the options that we have: underscore blank, underscore parent, underscore self, underscore top. Okay, when you do underscore blank, it opens it up. It opens that particular link, regardless of if it's the same website or it's another website. It opens it up in another browser window. Okay, if you do underscore window underscore if you do underscore sorry, give me a minute. Uh, so if you do underscore parent, I'm sorry, if you do underscore top, which is still like the default. Sorry, why is this not showing? So which is still default. It opens another. So this is say this is my website for example. So this is my website for example. So if I do underscore top, okay, it's just going to open a new browser window on top of this and then be opening that website on it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So a new browser window is going to like come out and then open that website on it. Okay, but if you do underscore self, which is actually the default, it says that okay, just open it in this same browser tab. Okay, yeah, tab. You need same browser tab. Yeah, I think that's the word. So when we do underscore blank, it opens it in another tab like we have here. But when we do underscore top underscore parent, it opens a new browser window, like you have another browser window come on top of this, and then the link or the destination will be opened on it. Okay, so that is the reason why Google from here is opening up in another browser tab. Okay, oh sorry. So yeah, so okay, I already changed this to underscore self. That's why it's open in the same place. So if I do underscore blank, it should open back in another browser tab. So let's go back, click on this, and yeah. Wait, no, wait. So live server, just refresh, click on this, and yeah, it opens another browser tab. So you can see that. So come back here, click on it again, it opens another browser tab. Okay, so that's underscore blank. Underscore blank makes it open in another browser tab. Okay, now moving on, let's talk about images. Okay, because yeah, why do you want to build a website without having images in your website? I mean, it's going to be a very, very boring website. So yeah, how do we add images? So we have an IMG tag rather, not AMG, IMG tag that we use to add images to our website. So it has some basic attributes. So this attribute here, SRC, is a very, very important one. Okay, so like if you don't have this SRC here, The SRC basically means what? If you put your mouse over this, it shows you. The SRC basically means the destination. Why is it showing me this now? Okay, hold on. Let me remove this. Redundant ing from the all attribute. Okay, so yeah, so it doesn't want this. So, so the SRC attribute here holds the address to that particular file. So SRC is treated like a what? A candidate image with a pixel English. So SRC here is basically the destination where that image is. You could actually be opening it from your from like we have here. I have assets here and I have images and I have the cat image here. I can actually have the files here, or I can decide to pick up a random image, link up a random image um from the internet onto my website. Okay, so you can either use link it locally or have it coming from another website entirely. Okay, so like we have here on this line 28, this image is coming from Pixon. Okay, and then as for this line 21 and 22, this image is coming from my local file here. Okay, which is the part image that we actually have here. Okay, now this Pixel image is what is showing this mountain. Okay, cool. Now, why is this one not showing? So this image is broken. Yeah, I purposely actually broke this image. So this image is broken. The reason why I broke this image is because of this alt attribute. So alt attribute comes in handy for screen readers. I did mention screen reader software. Oh, yeah, I did mention screen reader software. So they are like softwares that reads out websites. So maybe you are busy, you're working, and then you want to also read a particular blog post. So you just we use screen readers software to actually just you play and then it reads the entire it reads the content of the entire web page for you. Okay. So and then also for the blinds, also for people that are disabled with the blind, they use screen reader software to read out websites to them. So when it gets here, and this image is perhaps broken, okay. So for example, sorry, before we get there, so when it gets here, and this image is and it gets to this image, so what it's going to read out is image technology because they cannot see the image obviously. So it's just going to read out image technology. But for the case of us that are not visually impaired, that we can actually see, so in case the image is broken, is where the alt comes in for us. Okay, now this image is broken. So why is this image broken? Oh, so this is the technology. This is a technology image, but it is broken because of one thing or the other, which we don't know. But then it's actually put a description there for you to know the type of image that was actually there and is broken. Okay, so these are the two basic attributes of what of the image tag. These two attributes are actually very, very important. So if I put my cursor over this thing, you can see that I'm actually having an error here. Not an error perhaps, but a warning here. Okay, saying that what alt attribute, so I should add an alt attribute to this image. Okay, I should add an alt attribute to this image. That's because there's no alt attribute here. So I'm actually using Sonar Cloud Sonar Q plugin. It actually reads, it cleans up your code for you. In case of warning, it shows you warning, it shows running and errors for you when you are actually writing your code. So that's what is actually flagging this right now. Okay, so it's not Sonar Cube. I mean, if you look at this here, you can actually see it here. Sonar Cube. So the hot attribute is one of the important attributes for your image tag. Okay, cool, awesome. Now let's go to the listing. We have ordered list and unordered list. I'm going to take this at a go. So for ordered list, it's just like the name OL. That's ordered list. And unordered list is what? UL, unordered list. So we have, so you just declare the type of list that you want outside, and every other thing is still the same li element. So you can have a UL, okay, then you'll be wrapping it around the LIs, which are the list item themselves. Okay, these are the list item. I can actually move this in here and it will still work, and move this in here and it will still work just fine. Look at this. Because they are what? Basically still li. The only difference here is just what? This ol that's wrapping this entire li, and this ul that's wrapping this entire li. Okay, ol means ordered list, ul means unordered list, and then you can actually do um sorry. So we can actually do type for ordered list. Sorry, not tab index, type. We can actually do type for other lists. When we do one, which is the default, it's going to list them with 1, 2, 3. If I do I, it's going to list it with what? Roman numerals. And if I do A, it's going to list it with what? Alphabet. And if I do capital letter A, it's going to list it with what? Capital alphabet also. Okay. And if I do capital letter I, it's going to list it with Roman numerals in caps. Okay, that's for ordered lists. For unordered lists, you can also have a word, a type. Why is it not showing me my type? Sorry. I think is I don't want to use CSS yet. I don't want to use CSS yet. I don't want to use CSS yet. Give me a minute. So there's also a type, so you can actually change this from being the default. Okay, I think it's deprecated actually. I think it's deprecated actually. Yeah, it is deprecated actually. Oh, so it is deprecated actually. Let's try this. It's not going to work, right? Oh, it works. So this is actually deprecated. If I put my cursor over it, you can see remove these deprecated type attributes. But then actually it still works. But then for best practices, it's not, it has been deprecated. So this doesn't work again. So the default is actually, so if I do circle, it actually gives me circle with it gives me circle with no fill. If I do so these are the options that we have here. We have circle, which I have done. We have square. Square is what we have. All we had earlier, just a square. Instead of having the circle, it's just a square. So this, like I said, is actually deprecated. So if you are using this, you are using a deprecated attribute. So best practice, don't use it. Just use your CSS attribute to actually change. You can actually use CSS. I mean, if you are looking at this, you can actually use CSS like this to change the style of this. But we are not there yet, so I'm not going to be talking about that. Yeah, cool. So we'll talk about the basic tags, the heading tags, and the paragraph tag. We'll talk about the links. We'll talk about the images. We'll talk about the ordered list and unordered list. And yeah, basically, I believe that's basically the yeah, I think that's the content that we have from yeah. So that's the content that we have from okay, comments. So comments are used in HTML, are used generally in code, in programming rather. Comments are used generally in programming to make your code readable. Say you write this code and then you want to come back in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You want to remember what a particular function is doing, or what the particular function is doing, or what the particular section of this website is all about. So you are going to add comment. So this is how you add comment in HTML. You have the angular bracket, the exclamation mark, hyphen, then you have your content go in there. And then to close the comment, you have hyphen, and then the greater than sign. But then to make all of this easy, just break into a new line, the line that you want to add comment, and just do what? Control question mark. And if you're on Mac, you do command question mark, it automatically adds it for you. And then if you click command question mark again, it takes it off. Command question mark, it adds it. Command question mark, it takes it off. Okay, that's how to actually add comment. So any comment, anything that you put as comment doesn't show in your website. Let's go back to this. Anything that you put as comment doesn't show in your website. As you can see, it's not showing up here. So anything you put as comment doesn't show up in your website because they are comments. They are just for you to be able to understand your code. It doesn't even show in your browser. So if you inspect your browser, it doesn't even show up here. Oh, it actually shows up. Sorry. So, but then basically it doesn't show up in your browser here. So your user is not going to. So me as a developer, I can actually see what this part is doing. But in my in the browser of my user can actually not see this because they cannot see the comment in their website. It's not going to be rendered in the browser. So so that's that about comment. And also we are supposed to cover oh yeah, types of tag. So we actually have two types of tag. We have the self-closing tag and the non-self-closing tag. Can someone, oh, let me just, yeah, someone in the call, can someone tell me the difference between the self-closing tag and the non-self-closing tag? Hello. Okay. I'm going to find someone and just call a random name since you guys don't want to answer.
Tags
Yeah,
that need opening and closing tags.
tags that I don't understand, sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Hello.
Network, oh, I can't hear you again.
Can you hear me?
There are, yeah, there are tags that need opening and closing tags, and there are some tags that does not need closing tags. You just open it, then it self close itself.
Yes, you actually did answer. You actually did answer it. Thank you. You actually did answer it. But I need someone else to give me another answer. Another person. I'm going to call name. Alex. Alex Akinlabi. Alex Akinlabi. Okay, Alex is not here. Okay, come on, Olafe Olasukomi. Come on, Olafe is not here. Okay. Okay, Ajiboye, can you speak? Can you speak now? Okay. Oh, so nobody's going to answer this question for me because
Good evening, sir.
oh
Can you hear
yeah,
me, sir?
I thought you go on.
I would say self-closing tags are tags that they don't need you to close them. Because normally, let's look like image tag now. Image tag, you do not need ending. Closing tag are just like to tell you that this is the end of what I'm doing here.
Okay,
Do you get it,
okay,
sir?
okay, yeah.
Closing tag is just like for me to tell you that this is the end of what I'm doing here. So there are some tags that they don't need, they will automatically, the tag have end itself. So they do not need an closing tag to end
Awesome,
what you
awesome.
are trying
So
to do there.
sorry, Bloodarum and Ayatadi, thank you very much. You guys actually did, you did justice. You did quite justice to the question. Yes, there are some tags that are self-closing and there are some tags that are not self-closing. What is the difference? Some tags needs to be opened and then closed because their content goes in between of their opening and the closing tag. What is the difference between opening tag? This is an opening tag. It just have the element. It just have the element name. But when you are doing a closing tag, it comes with a forward slash. I believe this is a forward slash. It comes with a forward slash and then the tag name. Hey, what did I do? So it comes with the word a forward slash and then the tag name. That is the closing tag. But for tags that are self-closing rather, this for example, okay, is self-closing. It does not need a word. It does not need a closing tag because it doesn't take content in between opening and closing tag. Okay, basically all tags, okay, all tags that actually have opening and closing tags, all tags that have opening and closing tags are are tags that actually take content in between of the opening and closing tag. For example, take this ol and this other list, for example. Okay, we have all of the lists, the actual list items come in between of the opening and closing tag of the ol. Okay, so that is this is a non-self-closing tag. For a non-self-closing tag, it's the content of that tag is going to come in an attribute. when you are doing opening and closing tag, the content of it is going to come in between them, just like this one, like this one, like this one, like this one. But when you are using a self-closing tag, the content is going to come in an attribute. Okay, so that's going to let us talk about their different, there are tons of what? Tons of attributes. Okay, we have a lot of those. Some attributes are actually generic in the sense that you can actually use them on all tags, closing tags, self-closing tag or non-self-closing tag. You can use those attributes on them. But there are some attributes that are specific to a particular element. For example, for example, um this href attribute is specific. Okay, no, href attribute is not specific to anchor tag because when you're using iframe, it also takes href. Okay, so yeah, let's take target. This target attribute is specific to an anchor tag. Okay, the target attribute is specific to an anchor tag, so it doesn't go on any other element. You cannot come here now and add a target attribute. I mean, there's not even intelligence for it. Okay, there's not even intelligence for it, which doesn't actually make sense. So yeah, so there are some attributes that are specific to a particular element, and there are some attributes that are what that goes across every other element. For example, width, height goes across every other element. Style attribute goes across every other element. Aerial label, every aerial property goes across every other element also. Okay, cool. Now back to do the summary of the self-closing tag and non-self-closing tag. I said the difference between self-closing tag and non-self-closing tag is one, self-closing tag takes its content, okay, its content, its destination, its whatever, in a what? In an attribute. No, sorry, not a attribute. In an attribute. Okay, it takes in content in an attribute. For example, this image, the actual content for this image is this, which comes in an src attribute. The actual content, the actual destination for this anchor tag, okay, this anchor tag is not a self-closing tag, so this is the content, but then it also have an attribute, so then let us use that one. I believe the image is the only self-closing tag that we have here so far. Okay, yes, so image is the only self-closing tag that we have here so far. Okay, so the actual content for this image is this src. If I remove this now, go back here now, it's not even showing. You see, the cat is not showing again. Okay, the cat is not showing again because I have removed the word, the src, which is the actual content. When I put it back, it comes up. Okay, now for a non-self-closing tag, their content comes in between of the opening and closing tag. And just to be on the safe side, most times non-self-closing tags actually take text content in between them. I mean, most time, like I said, most time, not all the time. Most time, not all the time. So that's the difference between self-closing tag and non-self-closing tag. And then we've talked about some special attributes also. And then in summary, we've talked about the entire HTML structure. Starting from the doc type, okay, which actually tells your browser that this is an HTML5 document, and then the HTML tag, which is like the root HTML, saying that everything that goes in here is going to be an HTML. So this HTML actually have an attribute. This one is a language attribute, English. So you can actually have other languages here also. I don't know what the indication for other language is going to be. But then the basic is just to have language English. If you want to have translate, then you're going to be doing some special thing in here with meta tags. Okay. So now the head tag contains special meta tags and it's going to contain some link tag also. But basically, anything that you have in your head is not going to show in your browser, but will affect how the browser, will affect how the website behaves. Okay, it's not going to show in your website, but it will affect how the website behaves. So what you have in the body is the content. That's gone is the content of the website. So anything you have in the body of the website or on the body of your HTML is the actual content of your website, but except the what? The comment. So the comment is actually inside of your body, but it's not going to show in your browser. Okay, it's not going to show in your browser. I mean, you can actually add a comment in the head also. You can actually have comments in the head also. But in essence, comments don't show up in your what, in your browser. Now the basic tag, we'll talk about the heading tags, H1 down to H6. H1 being the biggest, and then it reduces as it goes down to H6. H6 is the smallest, but it still have the bold effect. Paragraph, no bold effect, just a little bit bigger than the H6, and it's used for what? For adding paragraph text. Okay, we have links. Links can be used. Which the tag for link is what? The A tag, which is called the anchor tag. A, which takes in an href attribute that points to where you want it to go, either another website or within your particular or another web page in your website. Okay, and it also takes in a target attribute. If you put underscore blank, it takes you to another website. Underscore self, which is the default, stays in that website. Underscore parent opens a new window. Underscore top opens a new window. Okay. Self-closing tag, non-self-closing tag. Some tags actually have opening and closing tag, like we had discussed earlier, and some tags don't have opening and closing tag. They just have one single tag. They don't need opening and closing. And I said the non-self-closing tag takes in their actual content from what? Oh, sorry, the self-closing tag rather takes in their actual content from their attributes. Okay, while the non-self-closing tag takes in their content in between of the opening and the closing tag. And I said most time non-self-closing tags are actually like text tags, like text tags most times, yeah. Like they are like tags that actually takes in text in between them. Yeah. And then we'll talk about the attributes, the href attribute, the src attribute, and then the alt attributes. And then we'll talk about the elements. So now, okay, let me just talk about this part here. Nesting element. So I can actually have, this is a div. I have a paragraph in it, and inside the paragraph, I have an emphasis. So emphasis is actually used to italize what is. You can actually use I, or you can use em also. These two actually works. And then for bold, you can actually use strong or you use B. So you can actually nest element in another element. You have a div, you put a paragraph in it, you put an em in it, or you have a div, you have a section rather, you have a div inside it, then you have a paragraph inside it, or you have a button inside it, and then you have now text inside it, and all of those things. So you can actually loop nest elements to actually have a richer structure. So I have done a quick run through of the entire slide. So this is where we start taking questions, if there are any. So guys, let's start asking our question, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, my question is it possible to have more than one link to a web page?
More than one?
Link to a web page.
Yes, yeah. No, okay, so let me just ask, let me just be clear. To a web page or in a web page?
Like the one you did now from
Yes.
that your inbox.html. There is a
Mm-hmm.
link taking you to the second .html
Not
before.
HTML.
Then you created
Yes.
another link. Yes.
Oh, yes, sure. You can
Is it
actually have
possible?
multiple links. Yes, you can have multiple links within your website. Yeah, you can have multiple links. I mean, we've been to websites where okay, let me just try and do Dive Africa. Dive HQ. Oh, sorry, this is it there. So yeah. So now look at this. We have this here. Look at this. We have menus here. So each of these menus are going to go to different pages. So therefore, they are going to be linking toward another. They are going to be linking toward different links. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. All of these links are going to be taking you to different page, different page, different page. So there are going to be what? Multiple links flying all around the page, flying all around the website. So yes, you can actually have multiple links. You can actually have multiple links within your website. So, Anita, did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Yeah. Any other question, guys?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Ah, big man, Alex. I was calling you earlier.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Go
Please,
on.
the other time you made mention of ordering list and unordering list. Can you please help me re-explain? Because the other time the network was breaking, so I was unable to hear you.
Okay. So
You made
basically,
mention of ordering and unordering. Thank you, sir.
yeah, yeah, sure. So basically, yeah, this is an ordered list and this is an unordered list. Please, mind you, it does not come with this label. Let me open my code for you so you can actually see. I actually put a paragraph text on it. Okay, so it doesn't come with a label. So you have to put, if you want a label for it, you have to put the label yourself. But then, in summary, this is an ordered list. Ordered list comes out numbered. It can either be by default, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Let me remove this type. So by default, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then if you want to change it, you can actually use the type to actually change it. Okay. So ordered list comes out numbered. That's why it's called ordered. Okay. It is numbered. Unordered is just going to be dot, dot, dot. Or if you change the type to square, it's just going to be square, square, square. If you change the type to circle, it's going to be circle, circle, circle. Okay. So that's the difference basically. It is still list, but one is ordered because it's going to be numbered, and another is unordered because it's not going to be numbered. Now, there's something that's common between them. They both taking what? Li. The only thing that is going to be different is what is wrapping them. So these are the list items themselves. But what now defines the type of list this is going to be is the OL that you wrap here or the UL that you wrap around it. Alex, are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So what actually makes the difference is the OL you wrap around it or the UL you wrap around it. So if I switch this OL, okay, if I switch it to UL, come back here, it immediately becomes an unordered list. Okay. If I switch it back to what it was before, it becomes an ordered list back. So the LI still works the same way for the two of them, okay, but what makes them different is this parent element. Alex, did I do justice to your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I've gotten it, sir. Thank you
Awesome.
so much, sir.
Thank you. Amen. God bless you too. All right, cool. Any other question?
Yeah, sorry, it's not a question. You mentioned an intelligence then. Why using is it a type attributes
Okay.
so
So
now or something? Can you please type it again?
it's not an intelligence actually, it's an extension. So
Extension,
Sonar,
okay.
yeah, Sonar Cube. Let me just search it. Yeah, Sonar Cube. So what Sonar Cube does is
Yeah,
it does advanced linting for you. So it just like reads your code. It reads your code and then picks out some possible semantic errors and syntactical errors also. Okay, it picks out semantic errors and syntactical errors with AI, obviously. With AI, obviously. So earlier I was using type here, which is actually deprecated. Type is actually deprecated on UL. So it actually flags it for me that yo, bro, this is actually deprecated. So if I actually try to use let me just, I'm not supposed to do this. Let's just do it for fun. So if I have a button and I put a div inside it, let's just put something here. Okay. So it's actually supposed to, okay, no, this is not going to complete because this is hydration error. So it's not going to pick out hydration error. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, cool. So, but then, yeah, that the extension you're looking for is Sonar Q. It actually picks out semantic errors and all of those things for you. So, like it's currently doing here. So, Sonar Q, yeah. Got that room. Did I answer?
yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Any other question? Any other question? Any other question? Okay, there's no other question. If there are no other question, I think I want to ask questions since you guys are saying there's no question. So I'm going to pick at random. Let me start presenting myself. I am going to pick at random. Just give me a minute. Let me bring up my question. I actually have a list of questions that I want to ask. Yeah, my question. Yeah, my question. Yeah, my question. My question. Okay, yeah. So this is okay. So let me start with Nkechi. Yeah, Nkechi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, so give me okay, yeah, give me two examples of self-closing tag and two examples of non-self-closing tag.
Okay, an example of a self-closing tag is the image. Uh, that's image tag is
Okay,
a self-closing tag.
okay.
Um, an example of I might not give the two right now, please, but for the um non-self-closing tag is like our body, the header
Awesome,
tags,
awesome,
body header
awesome,
tags. Yeah.
awesome. So another ing video audio, yeah, they are self-closing tags. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Blue that rum. So thank you, Nkechi. Yeah. So another example of a self-closing tag is actually the BR tag. I mean, okay, so the BR tag. So now this will not give me a question. Agbola Usman, what is the BR tag? What exactly is the BR tag? And what is
Okay,
it
sir.
used for?
The BR tag is used to like put a broken line. It is used to send a, let me say, a block element or an inline block element to the next line.
God bless you. Una too savvy. Una too savvy for this place. So yeah, the break tag is actually basically to just send an inline element to a new line, or you can actually use it to just create multiple. If you want to have multiple space, if you are still dealing with pure HTML, if please don't do this when you are already doing CSS. You can basically use margin and padding when you are doing CSS. But if it's pure HTML, yeah, you can actually use the break tag to create multiple space, or like Usman said, you can use it to break an inline element to a new line. Okay, cool, awesome. So I'm going to ask this question to Bukola. Bukola, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So give me two attributes that are very, very important on an image tag.
Image tag,
Image tag, yeah,
the
IMG.
SRC and attribute, right?
Yes, attributes, yes.
Okay, the SRC and alt.
The SRC and alt. Awesome. Awesome. The SRC and alt. Komalafe, what is the SRC tag for, and what is the alt tag, alt attribute rather? What is the SRC attribute for, and what is the alt attribute for? Komalafe.
The SRC attribute is used to link the source, like to mention the source where the element you are using is, and the alternative, the auth is an alternative in case the element you are using is broken.
Okay, awesome. Nice. Cool. So okay. So I think the person I want to drag next is Victor Timilai. Okay, Victor, what is the difference? Okay, so what is the difference between OL and UL? Yeah,
Okay, good evening, sir.
good evening.
So OL is for ordered list, like to make the list that you are given in an ordered form. That's
Okay,
where you can use the one, and you can also make use of the A to just make it ordered. Why the UL is for unordered lists.
awesome. Thank you, thank you. Do I have any other question? Do I have any other question? Okay, I think I want to stop it for now. You guys are doing well. Thank you for following along, going through the LMS content, coming to the live classes, participating, waiting till the end, and being interactive. I mean, yeah, I'm going to see you guys at the top. Definitely. I'm definitely going to see you guys at the top. So yeah, so we're going to call it a day. We are going to end it here. I don't know if you have any other question, so I'm going to wait for like a minute or two. If there's any other question, then we see in the LMS video, and we see in the next see next Saturday. So we have 1 minute. Okay, so I know that that was not up to 1 minute. That was not up to 1 minute, but then I'll see you guys in the next. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please, please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye. Bye, guys.